Hello, welcome to the live stream. I think I see some people on the viewer. If you would drop me a comment, let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that my audio is good to go. Haven't done this in a minute, so I want to make sure that we're ready to rock and roll. Let me see, I can actually double check it here on my YouTube screen. I hope everyone's doing great. Today I'm going to generate some loot. Going to maybe, if we get anyone in the chat, get your help to generate some loot. Even so, people who watch this later on. Okay, gotcha. I got audio. Very good. All right. So here's the situation. My Darkest Dawn players just won a battle. Okay. They beat some like raiders who were trying to beat them up outside the city gates of the elven city of Nimbasis. Basically, these raiders were sort of like troops left over from the big like war offensive going on. Avery Juno's on the chat. How's it going, Avery? Good to see you. Good to see you. Great, awesome. But yeah, these players, they were, they're outside the city of Nimbasis, and they got come upon by raiders who were basically like soldiers from the offensive who had like broken ranks, so we're now going rogue. And this is happening all over my home world state of Regenesis. I am running this game on Start Playing Games. If you want to check out the other games I have available, you should go to my description. I've got 2 more games open. Hey, yo, Herminator, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you. And today, well, so basically what happened was they fought these raiders, they defeated them, and now I need to come up with the sweet loot that they had. And I know the basic stuff, but what we need is some creative stuff. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. So I'm going to basically consult my notes from the session. Blue Rose Lion, how's it going? Good to see you. Great to see you. I'm going to consult my notes. So they actually brought down a total number of 3 of the enemies. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 3. There was a knight with a sword. There was a spellcaster. And then they brought down the leader, and the others were able to make their escape. Oh, no, wait a minute. There was one more. They beat there was a guy with a club. Or no, he had a flail. That's what it was. He had a flail. So those are the 4 enemies that they brought down. We need to generate loot for them. So I'm going to kind of go through how I would do this. And I'm going to share my list. I'm going to do this in a Google Doc. Players, if you're in my Darkest Dawn game, don't watch this, I guess, because you'll see what the loot is. They're about to see anyway. I'm literally going to create this list and then send it to them because at the very end of last session, they were able to get it. I'm so excited to be back into making loot, getting back into playing D&D actually from such a long absence is so much fun. It's been way too long since I have been out of the game. Okay. Loot list. 4 slain combatants. I'm going to share this on my screen. Let me see if I remember how to do this even. It's been so long. I used to be good at this live streaming thing, like actually good at it. And now I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Can we share this? Yeah. There we go. All right, here we go. So we've got 4 slain combatants. We had a knight with a sword. This is how they were like identified. We had the leader who had a great sword. We had, let me double check my notes here. Oh, a spellcaster. And then we had raider with a flail. Okay. So this is what we have to work with here. And now obviously, and I've got to get my player's handbook out here because I have to double check, make sure I'm writing things down right. So when I generate loot, I start with the obvious things. Like, what did the players see on the enemies, right? Mikey B, how's it going? Great to see you in the chat. Hey. Now listen, I want you all to be thinking of some cool stuff. Here's what we got to do. I'm going to generate like the basic stuff. So we know, for example, the knight had some armor and a sword. We know that the leader had a great sword and armor. We know the spellcaster had spellcaster's robes. That's actually about it. Can you make the screen a bit bigger? I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure. You mean the picture of me or the screen in general? Mikey B, let me know which one of those. And also keep in mind, if you're watching on okay, Nerf McCringle, spellcasters looting other spellcasters for arcane materials, spellbooks, and scrolls underrated. This is awesome. I want your ideas. Give me your ideas. Yeah, chat screen. Interesting. I don't know if that I can make it bigger. I think I am stuck with StreamYard's parameters. You're on YouTube. Are you on mobile or are you on desktop? Because there is a new format on StreamYard where you can stream both to widescreen and mobile. It might be. No worries. Thank you. I appreciate this. Desktop. Oh, so it's too small on desktop. That's so interesting that it won't let you make it bigger. Can you make the screen a bit bigger? Oh, do you mean here? I think I know what you mean. Is that better? That might be what you meant actually the whole time. Maybe you meant my Google Doc, which I totally can make bigger. Let me know if that fixed it. Anyway, because I think it is actually kind of small. You need to make this a title. Loot list. All right. Okay, awesome. That does help. Good. We'll make it even a little bigger then because we need to be able to see what we're working with here. We got to be able to see what we're working with. Still hard to read? Okay. I just adjusted it a little more. Let me know if that helps. We'll try to do our best. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share the link to this. Anyone with the link? We're going to edit this in real time. I'm going to make everyone an editor. And I'm going to drop this. I went theater mode and I can read it now. Okay, gotcha. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do here. We're going to do something crazy. I'm going to drop the link to this. And I'm making it editable by everyone. Okay. And I want everyone, anyone who wants to add stuff to this, I'm going to pin this. Can I pin this? Oh, I have to go to YouTube and pin this. Anyone who wants to help me, they can go in here and they can go into that document. I think that should be how it's working. And I'm going to pin it. And then there we go. So you can get in and edit it with me. You can share your ideas. All right. I think that's what we're going to do. Let me know if that worked. All right. So, Shield of Reflection. Okay, so here's the thing. So the players are only level 2 right now. So we don't want to do anything too crazy. We don't want them to have here's what I kind of want. I want each of them to have a very minor magic item. Could be homebrew. I should refrain from being that guy in the edit mode. So they're only level 2. So we don't want to make it too crazy powerful, but we do want a small, I want to give a little magic item for each one. Could be a homebrew magic item, could be something from the player's handbook. That's the stuff that I want to create here. Right. So that's the kind of stuff I want to get creative with. And obviously the knight with the sword is going to have chainmail. Here, we can create bullet points under these. Let me make a bullet point. Shabam. I'm basically a master's level Google Docs user. If you didn't notice, chainmail, long sword. And that's really all that I know, right? I'm gonna go like this. We're gonna go, the leader had breastplate, great sword, obviously, and that's all I know. That's literally all I knew. I knew nothing about the spellcaster. I vote for charges on the items. I like it. That's fine with me. That works. And then the raider with a flail had actually leather armor, and then it had a what is it? A great flail, the big one, or is that the giant one? I think there's two sizes of flails, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna go check. Adventuring gear. And then we need, like, basic gear. Like, how much money did they have? Probably not very much. But they had some because they were raiding, right? So they did have some. I need to find the section in the player's handbook about the. Here we go. I think he had studded leather armor. So we're gonna go like this: studded leather armor. And then the flail. What kind of flail did he have? Oh, okay. So in D&D 5e 2024, there's just a flail. So flail it is. These were, now here is another thing. These were conscripted low-level soldiers who were fighting for the Amaranthine army. So the Amaranthine army, they had like the grayish army gear emblazoned with the symbol of Amaranthine. But what would a big Magikarchy city send with their lowest level conscripted troops? Basically, their meat shield troops, right? So these fellows were very underpaid, very disgruntled, and when they didn't get, a victory, they bounced. Decided that they would make more money raiding the countryside than fighting for Amaranthine, which is not wrong. That is true, unfortunately. What can we say? Amaranthine's leadership is out of touch. They're out of touch, bro. And then so we get left with raiders. Okay, so the knight with the sword, what is he going to have? Okay, for gold and such, I think he has 2 gold pieces, 1 silver piece, and 4 copper. That's what my instinct is telling me. Okay, the leader would have a little bit more. He would have 3 gold pieces, 3 silver pieces, and 8 copper. Spellcaster is going to have 2 gold pieces, 4 silver pieces, and 5 copper. And then the raider with a flail is going to have 1 gold piece. He spent some of his already. 5 silver and 7 copper. Okay, this is good. So that's just their basic money. I see we've got some. Ooh, I like that. Anonymous Iguana is typing something. Silver brooch, cloak pin, starburst, or symbol of his employers. That'd be the Amaranthine Magic Corp, basically, like their mage core. So that's a really good addition. But what we also need, guys, is we got to think about what the spellcaster has. So spellcaster robes. Official issue. And I'm going to look. Okay, so I think that there's some daggers here, first of all. This guy had a dagger. The leader. 3 runes upon the blade. These may be invoked to heal. 2d4 as a bonus action. 3 charges. I actually like that because the leader would have had better gear. I like that, actually. That's super cool. We're keeping it. Dagger. spellcaster would have a dagger. I kind of want this dagger to have something a little special, a little magical something, something. Does anyone have any ideas for the spellcaster dagger? Narf McCringle, one of those 5-in-1 spice containers. When inside is powdered materials for spells like bat, guano, and sulfur for fireball, sand, and powdered rose petals for sleep. Okay. I like that. Actually, let's do it. Let's call it a component container containing bat, guano, sulfur, sand, powdered rose petals. I like that. Narf McCringle. If you have any other additions, let me know, because I'm liking that. I'm really liking those specifics of those. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Any chance those raiders might have had a lost ark with them? No, not these raiders. They weren't that successful. And some of them met with their demise here to a level 2 party. So not the greatest showing. How about a holy symbol they stole, and your group either return it or keep it, as it can heal once a day after being charged in the moonlight. The cycle of the moon determines how much healing is granted. Okay, I really like that. So that would be like so the rider with the flail, he would be like most likely to have something like that, because he wasn't like a paladin, but if one of them was going to have a religious thing, it would be him. So holy symbol of Benevolon, who is like the good god in this region of the Elisaurian quadratic pantheon. Holy symbol of Benevolon. Magic item can heal 1d8 once per day. Can be recharged by sitting overnight in moonlight. If no moonlight is available, cannot be recharged. That's really cool, because that would make it so that, like, if you're in a cave, you couldn't use it, right? So it's like selectively useful. And then on the back is the name of a church. The Holy Church of Benevolon, Artemis Ridge, Priestess Lorena Automach. Okay, so on the back of it, there's going to be, so this is going to lead to that actually. And Blue Rose Line, that's really interesting, because they also purchased a map recently that's going to have notable locations north of them, like kind of like a map of the area, because the maps that they have access to don't have access to the smaller holds, and there's a bunch of smaller holds in the area. So I'm going to put that church on that map, and that's going to tie together. So that's actually super cool. Is inscribed the name of a church. Okay, so that's actually super cool. All right, so right now we have, I like this, very nice component container, holy symbol Benevolon, and then okay, so now I need a little bit more for the spellcaster. Well, so what kind of spellcaster was he? It was kind of not determined whether he was a wizard, sorcerer, warlock, could have even been a cleric, but didn't really seem that way. He seemed like an arcane caster of sorts. What do you guys think? You think he was likely a wizard, or was he likely a sorcerer? Just based on your instincts, who has an opinion about that? I'm kind of interested in hearing what the party thinks about this. He wasn't a very high level caster, right? He would have been a grunt caster, basically. Probably someone just hired for silver from the docks or something. All right, what else we got here? I'm thinking, so we have kind of like an arc item. We've got this holy symbol of Benevolon here, which could lead to kind of a larger, could lead to some kind of adventure if we wanted to. Now, let me see. I'm going to look. I'm going to do a little bit of looking here. So did any of them have tools? This is a good question. I kind of feel like this knight had some tools. Let's put some tools in there. But what kind of tools did he have? Carpenter's tools would be the most likely thing. $8 gold pieces in value. I think he had carpenter's tools. Wizard, since he was conscripted. I agree. All right, so we need a spell book for him. He would have a spell book with him. Now, here's the thing. We need the spells that were in a spell book. Anyone want to take a jab at what spells he had in his spell book? And so we should have, like, you know, first level. Whoops. It's kind of hard to format. It's okay. We can just go underneath it, like first level. Well, actually, there would be cantrip too. So we have cantrip, we have first level. Whoop. We have second level. And then he probably had some third level spells. And then that's probably as high as it goes, honestly. So if anyone wants to jump in there and like put some spells in there, feel free. He should have spells to match his components. Actually, that's actually super true, Mikey. Mike B. That's super true. So we're definitely going to fill that out. I'm really interested in this ground up pork rind and dried grasshopper legs. Dried pork rind and dried grasshopper legs. Nice, nice. Ooh, I like that. Whoever's writing that the dagger had polished green stone and pommel. That's really awesome, actually. I like that. I'm gonna make this so it's pageless, because who even puts pages in their Google Doc these days? It should always be pageless. Pagelessness is next to godliness when you're dealing with Google Docs. All right, so here we go. Narf McCringle's got the good stuff. He's got the good stuff. Guano and sulfur is for fireball, so he's got fireball, obviously. St. Rose Petals for sleep. Sleep is a second level spell or first level spell. I believe sleep is a first level spell, if I'm not mistaken. I got my handy dandy player's handbook here. First level enchantment. Sleep. Pork rind for grease. Heck yeah. Grease. I am not even going to tell you all the things I've seen grease used for in game. I'm not even going to tell you. I've seen grease used for some mangy things in D&D. What level are the opponents? They were all roughly level 2, and the leader was roughly a level 3. That's what they were. Grease, a level 1 spell. Grasshopper for jump. Nice. I like that. I like that. This is really actually very cool. You guys are putting things in here that I probably wouldn't have put in here just because they're not usually on my radar. Like the jump spell. Like when I'm playing a caster, I never use that spell. I don't know why. I just, you know how there's spells you really like. I always kind of gravitate toward the spells I really like. B, C, D, E, F, G. H-I-J-K. I have to go through the alphabet so I can find jump in here. J. Level 1 transmutation. Heck yeah. What cantrips did he have? I'm going to go to the wizard spell list. Yeah, that's a good idea, Mikey, actually. Very good. Very good idea. Would love to wizard a fireball spell in their book yet? So I'm gonna say yes because like he might have like been basically for all intents and purposes a level 2, but I probably would have given him a fireball just because like sometimes I don't like follow exactly level restrictions for NPCs. Like I might have them be basically like a level 2, which is kind of what I'm talking about, but then I might give them like one thing that's a little more powerful and uncharacteristic of a level 2. So those rules wouldn't always technically apply. So I like the idea of him having a fireball spell because that was sort of a back pocket thing that he could have used. He didn't get a chance, though. He didn't even get a chance to cast a single spell. They took him out before he even cast a spell. Mike says, I hear you. Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. You know how we do this. Trying to give our NPCs some chance of survival before they just get annihilated, right? So here are some cantrips, wizard cantrips. Oh, no, I'm in the warlock section. So right now I'm looking for wizard cantrips. Okay, here we go. Let's give him acid splash because he would have been, doing combat damage, fire bolts. Let's give him true strike as a cantrip, and then message. I feel like those are some pretty actually on theme cantrips. All right, so what else we got here? They've got the component pouch. I feel like he might have had a couple more first level spells. What would we have here? Let's do, actually, let's put comprehend languages in there. And then fog cloud. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. And then one more second level spell. Jump is a really good one. He probably would have had something to detach or to deal damage. Dragon's breath. Hell yeah. That'd be cool. All right. Heck yeah. What does Dragon's breath need for components? A hot pepper. That's funny. Put a hot pepper in his component pouch. Tensor's floating disk for the vibes. Drop of mercury component. I like it. Tensor's floating disk. I concur. Tensor's floating disk is also like, I kind of feel like it's an underutilized spell. There's so many useful things you can do with Tensor's floating disk. I love spells like that are just like, they kind of do a simple thing, but they're actually useful in a wide variety of situations. That's why wizards are so cool. Level 1. Hot pepper. A drop of mercury. Heck yeah. Don't eat that. Don't put that on the hot pepper and eat it. All right. Whoop. All right, we got that. Okay, so I feel like they would have had a little bit of food. Ooh, this is cool. Pouch of spices. Nice. Actually, I like that. They probably would have had a little bit of food. 2 days trail rations. leader would have had like 2 days trail rations. I think he would have also had a bottle of brandy in his pouch. One day's trail rations. He already ate more of his. And then we've got the gold locket with a cameo carved in a woman's profile. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. 2 days trail rations. And then he was going to have a water skin. They would probably all have a water skin, honestly. So we're going to put those things in there. Nice. Someone's putting, an anonymous Wolverine is putting some details on the longsword. I love it. I like adding details of those things. I like it when there's detail added because it makes it cooler. All right. So we've got that covered. We've got the spells. We've got the components. Raider with a flail. Studded leather armor. We've got basic gear here. He's got kind of a special thing. I kind of feel like someone would have a... I'm going to give this knight a pearl necklace. Worth about 25 gold pieces. Silver trim. I don't know why. I'm just feeling that. Pemmican. Heck yeah. Pemmican is actually a legit cool food. It's like a historical food. I've watched more videos about making pemmican than you would probably believe. This is the truth. That's the truth of the matter. All right. So actually, this is looking super good. I feel like we're about done. Magic weapon. 3 runes upon blade. These may both. Are these one-time use charges? 3 runes, 3 one-time use charges. I think these were meant to be one-time use. I'm wondering if we should give one more one-time use. Mikey says one-time use. Yeah, heck yeah. That's what I was thinking. All right, so now I'm thinking about, by the way, for anyone who's like just joined the chat or whatever, the link to this Google Doc is pinned in the comments if you want to jump in, and basically we're putting together some loot for some slain combatants if you want to jump in and help us. I'm kind of feeling like one more low-level magic item. I kind of want to make it something kind of cool, very selectively utilitarian, but something homebrewed, something that's not in the book. Does anyone have an idea? We have some really cool kind of magical things going on here, but they're not too powerful. I'm really liking this. I love the idea of putting those runes in the great sword. We've got obviously the spell book here and the components, which is awesome. This raider has this holy symbol of Benevolon, which is arguably the most powerful magic item of the bunch, but it's still selectively useful. I think very, very well. Potion from the book. I'm not sure what you mean potion from. Oh, a potion from the book. We could do a potion. Totally. What potion would you do? I like that idea. I think the spellcaster should be carrying a potion. Someone give me an idea. What potion would be carrying? A bag of holding type item. Okay, so that is like, to me, like I kind of feel like that's a super powerful thing right now. I don't think I would put that in with this because that's just so powerful. At level 2, I default to healing potions. Okay, healing potions. Potion of healing. I like that. Let's do that. A potion of healing. A minor charm. Okay, here we go. Magic item idea. Minor charm necklace, 3 or 4 one-time use abilities. Ooh, okay, okay. I'm liking this. Minor charm necklace. Minor charm is a spell, right? That's technically like literally a spell. No, charm. I think you're talking about the spell charm. So when you say minor, I think what you mean is it's like minor in the sense that it's like temporary use. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I love bags of holding, but here's the thing, like I feel like I've learned enough to be like, let's not give them just a bunch of bags of holding like right away. Let's let them buy those or something. It's like but I like the charm, the necklace with the charm idea on it. A B C D. I'm very I'm alphabetically challenged today. It's because I've only had one energy drink, right? Potion of sludge. Ooh, now that's interesting, actually. Reskin the health potion as bone broth soup. I like that. Leather pot of bone broth soup. Magical. 1d8 healing potion. Nice. That's actually really cool. That's a cool reskinning. Very cool reskinning. Okay, this potion of sludge. Okay. This is giving me an idea. What if they have a necklace that has 4 one-time use things on it? One of them is already used. One of them is a charm. One of them is a sludge thing. So they have like a little necklace, and it's like a combat necklace. I don't know. Like, it wouldn't be combat. It would just be like a utilitarian, a weird necklace. We're going to give it to this raider with a flail. No, he's already got a magic item. We got to give it to, maybe the leader would have this. What does the leader have? The leader has the magic great sword. Other than that, though, he doesn't have any other magic items. So let's give him this magic necklace of, we need to name it. Somebody give me a good name. And then it's going to have one-time use of charm. Pendant, and when they have to pull the pendant off and use it. That's how it works, right? And then it's going to have a sludge, one-time use of. Okay, but sludge, is there a spell for that, or is it like, I think there is a spell that does that, or is sludge literally a spell? Someone tell me what spell we could use to create a sludge effect to slow down the enemies. I know there's a spell that does that. Yeah, what spell is it that does that? It's like there's a spell that does that. Or Blue Rose Lion, is there literally a potion of sludge? I think that's maybe what you're talking about. I'm double checking here. Okay. We're going to just put that there for now because that's pretty. That's pretty, actually. Oh, that actually would be. Oh, okay. Interesting. I like that actually. The power creep is real. Okay, Blue Rose Lion, gotcha. Okay, no, we've got it then. I put it in here like this. One-time use of sludge effect creates a muddy black sludge on an area of ground in a 20-foot radius, makes terrain difficult. So I think that that's cool. I like it. Awesome. The leather pot. We should call that leather pot the pot, like the pot of the druids or something like that. That would actually be cool. Where did it go? I gotta find it. Who had the pot? Leather. Container of druidic healing. If you can think of a better name, feel free to go in there and change it. That's just the name I came up with off the top of my head. All right, so yeah, in fact, someone please make a better name for it than Container of Druidic Healing. This is what I thought of off the top of my head. All right, so now where were we? Oh, we were making this necklace. Where did the necklace go? It's on the leaders. Oh, I like this. Whoever's doing this with the pearl necklace, I like this. This is looking really good. So it's got one-time use of charm pendant, one-time use of sludge effect, and we need one more spell-like ability for our necklace, or two. Actually, one more spell-like ability. Someone give me something. One thing I'm thinking of is it could be one-time use of Leomund's tiny hut. That could be a cool thing. Although there are situations where that's actually really powerful. But if it's a one-time use, it's a little different. Or a Leomund's secret chest. One-time. No, that would be a little weird. Leomund's tiny hut would work a lot better. It could be a levitate. Someone give me an idea. Now, for everyone who's joining the chat, if you don't know what we're doing, I've got this Google Doc pinned in the comments. You can jump in if you want. And basically, we're fleshing out some loot for my Darkest Dawn campaign. Level 2 players just defeated a gang of raiders, and we're putting together loot. And I'm not gonna lie, the power creep is getting a little slight, but that's all right. That's all right. We're working on it. You'll see what's going on. If you look in that document, you'll see exactly what's going on. But so here's the thing, though. I need one more magical ability for this magic necklace of, and then I need a name. I need someone to name this magical necklace for me. Because if I name it, it's going to be something very generic, like magic necklace of the mage or something. I'm really good at generic names, but I got to think real hard to get specifically cool. So if anyone has a good idea, feel free to drop that in there. And then I need a third effect. I'm thinking a Leomund's tiny hut, making that like a one-time use thing. In fact, I'm going to do it. One-time use of Leomund's tiny hut. Heck yeah. That's what we're going with. That was Herminator who suggested the charm pendant, which is what I'm creating here. And I turned it into like a magical necklace that has one-time use things. Oh, this is a good idea. This is a super good idea. Okay. Magic necklace with one-time use pendant named Herminator's magical. What's an interesting synonym for the word necklace? A fancy word for necklace. And a lunula? What's a lunula? It's so ridiculous. Lunula. I don't know why they're saying that. It's like a anatomy. Lunula. Why would they call that a fancy word for necklace? As a necklet. Interesting. I'm looking for a fancier word for necklace. Herminator's magical necklet. That's what we'll call it. Magical necklet. I like it. Necklace of the patron. I like that. A bolo. Herminator's magical bolo. Yeah, hell yeah. That's a locket is good, but I feel like what we need is the name for like the whole necklace thing. Herminator's magical bolo. We got it. I think we got it. There's a lot of people gave good suggestions here. Choker is a good one too. But we're going to go with Herminator's since he's the one who brought it up originally. Herminator's magical bolo. And it's got 3 one-time use abilities on it. I love it. That's so cool. Hell yeah. All right. I think we're just about done with this. We've got really good stuff here. If we keep going, it's just going to become like super, super powerful, like maybe overpowered. Let me see what else I have to cook up here. I've got a couple other things on my to-do list. Let's see. I've got a little bit more time. And then since I've got awesome like help right now, maybe look at my to-do list here. Do any of you make to-do list items to prepare for your next session? Like, okay. I need to create a map. What is this? How has OWTC never made Volo? I'm not quite sure what that means. I think it means old wizards of the coast. Is that what you mean? Never made Volo. Volo's Bolo. I don't know. They've been slacking is the word on the street. They've been slacking on the creative part of it in some respects. Maybe that's why. Okay. I need some names and I'm going to create a new document now. Okay. This turned out awesome. I'm going to create a new document now. I need a list of holds and like list of holds, forts and locations, holds, forts, locations, and townships that are going to appear on the map bought by the group in the last session. Okay, I'm going to share this now. And we need a bunch of basically names for like lower level places that wouldn't have appeared on a big map, right? Okay, I'm going to drop this in here. Place names for my map of it'd be northeastern Elissoria. Boom. Dropping that document in there. We need names. That's really all I need. And feel free to put a little information about the place too. These are all like smaller though. Keep in mind, these aren't like big magical places. They could be small magical places. But I need honestly like 15 different things. And I'm going to go pin this so that we can replace pin message. Okay, I've replaced the pinned message with this one. Heck yeah. Awesome. Looks like somebody's Duncanville. What was it that and if you have any lore you want to add on these, feel free to do so. I'm going to put Grendarl's hold. That's awesome. And then Dave, hey Dave, how's it going? You use AI? Well, so would I, but since I've got awesome brain power in the chat, I would love to do it. And high key, if any of you want to like insert a little lore in these places using yourself as the lord or the lady or anything, like feel free to do that. That'd be so fun. Herminator, Corvin's Reach, coastal with a stone lighthouse. I like it. Excellent, excellent. And then we have Grindarl's Hold. I've got that in there. Heck yeah. All right, very good. We've got good stuff going on in there. I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make a church to Malixis, who's like the evil deity. In Elisoria, in where we're playing in the game, there is a quadratic pantheon with a god representing each of the 4 major alignment points. So there's like an evil god, there's a good god, there's a god of law, and a god of chaos. So the Church of Malixis, we're gonna call it Unholy Church of Malixis in Saint Aurella's Pass, in Saint Aurella's Saint Erkla's Pass. I need some information about this. We need like we want to make this an interesting thing. Advenire, love it. Putting it in there. Advenire. What is Advenire? Tell me what that is. Yeah, I would too, and then tweak the items, but you have to admit this is way more fun. It is more fun. It is so much fun. Switch your screen share to new doc. Oh, yes. Good. Thank you for reminding me about that. All right, here we go. We're adding it. Gonna stop screen share. Share screen. Okay. Share. We're gonna put it up there. Okay. And we're gonna make it bigger so people can actually see it. All right. Hell yeah. A 1980 Atari video game called Adventure. You know, I played an Atari one time. I had a cousin, an older cousin with an Atari, and I played it one time. But I grew up with an NES. I got an NES for Christmas when I was like, I think I would have been 6 or something like that. I never had a Super Nintendo, but my grandma did. And then I actually jumped to the Nintendo 64. I bought one with my own money when I was like 13 years old, I think. Adventure is just a variation of the word adventure. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm going to flesh out this Unholy Church of St. Ruins Fest. Statue of a knight with a broken sword, with a small stone chapel and a graveyard in the back. And then there's going to be a antique stretching rack located in the foyer, mostly decorative and historical in purpose. Isn't used much these days. That's kind of funny. Dave, I'm a bit older than you, maybe a bit. I don't know how old you are, but I am 39. I just turned 39, which is weird because I don't feel like I'm 39. I feel like I'm 29. But when I was 29, I know that I was a lot less experienced. Sometimes I look back on my life, and when I was like 26, I remember having this realization when I was 26. I just remember thinking, oh my God, I'm so clueless about the world. Like, I don't know. It's like I kind of describe it as becoming self-aware. And it's like, I can't believe they let me outdoors and let me do things before I was 26, because it was like I was just a mindless young person running around doing God knows what. That's how I felt. Blue Rose Lion says Fields of Trembling. Oh, God. I like that. All right. Can I not grab the text from this? I think I have to actually go into the YouTube chat to see. Gotcha. Okay, so I can copy it from the YouTube chat. All right, putting it in there. Putting it in there. Trembling decoction where the monks were outside the town of Cafintar. Now this is interesting. So Cafintar is a good sounding town name, actually. A small township where in the center of the township is an open, what do they call those buildings that have a roof but no sides? What do they call those? Building with a roof but no walls. And I'm thinking like kind of like those ones they have in China. A pavilion is an open Chinese styled pavilion where local monks sit and meditate. No, just fleshing it out, man. Just fleshing it out. Play the base game. It'll take you 10 minutes. Maybe I will. The adventure game has an adventurer running from dragons to get into a castle to get a chalice to return it to his castle. Nice. Heck yeah. I like it. I like it. There's a lot of good stuff going on in here. South Umbley Township, Halfling Fort Farms. Yeah, heck yeah. Represent small folk. That's Peaswell, not Peaswell. Nice. Level 7 fighter. South Umbley is known for their vibrant dyed wool goods as well as their locally brewed Umbley stout. Ooh, that's cool. That's super cool. I love that. Duncanville, a small farming town along the beaten path of a main thoroughfare, has a mayor, lord, lady, duke, or whatever title, bit of a jerk that is selfish with the resources. Nepo baby ruler vibes. Heck yeah. Okay. I like that. There's probably a lot of that in Elisoria, honestly. So here we go. Based on Dave's telling of like what Advenire is about, we're going to say there's actually a decently sized castle here. And in the courtyard, there's the petrified remains of a large dragon skeleton. The hold itself is struggling as they don't seem to be very good at farming, and the leadership is terrible. The hold leader, whom they call Lord Veramus, has not come outside the hold in years. They say he's held up in his quarters, possibly sick, maybe just lazy. Thus, they offer a tourist tour of the skeleton and castle, along with lore and a gift shop to help make ends meet. Their tourism business is the only thing keeping them from being plunged into starvation. Shabam. In the game, there's a bat that flies around stealing random stuff from you. Oh. If you visit Advenire, you may find that there are a lot of bats that fly around at night and they try to steal stuff. Interesting. And they seem to take it to the topmost tower of the castle. Lord Verimus's quarters. The plot thickens. To get to the castle, you have to navigate a maze. Interesting. The way up the tower from the inside is actually maze-like, requiring navigation checks to keep from getting stuck and lost. Heck yeah. We're fleshing it out. We're fleshing it out. Bloodstorm stand. That sounds cool. Ooh. I'm going to jump in and copy this. We need to make this pageless. Pagelessness is next to godliness when we're using Google Docs. Nobody likes page separators in their Google Docs unless they're actually making something that requires pages. Okay, Sickled Blaze. I'm going to have to format these eventually. That's okay. As the set of a bloody battle is ended with a magical storm decimating almost everyone in the area. It's called a stand, as a few remaining spellcasters are able to use some forbidden hemomancy magic in order to create a barrier against the storm. Sticks and bodies and rocks and other materials that was thrown around during the storm fused with the blood barrier and solidified into a massive hollow dome. It now stands as a memorial to the battle. That is metal. That's metal as hell. Is it empty? I feel like there would be some kind of religious thing going on there. There is currently a cult that makes their home within the dome. They cut their faces into scars. What's hemomancy? Blood magic spells can be cast as ranged attacks. Those that heal necrotic damage. The spells are categorized in different types, such as absorb health. Oh, okay. They cut their faces into scars, paying homage to their hemomantic beliefs, and are considered highly dangerous as they enjoy draining the blood from helpless passersby and using it in their rituals, and also for drinking, for pleasure. Yeah, hell yeah. I like it. Sickle Blaze said, working on an adventure right now on my VTT site. You were live and thought a few seconds about the whole idea and made it into something. Do with it what you will. It took maybe a minute. Thank you, Sickle Blaze. I love it. Middle as hell. Still listening, but back to work for me before session prep for a session 1.5 hours. Nice. Yeah. Heck yeah. Thanks for contributing. I love it. All right. Dave's imagination says there's a magic bridge you can be used to pass through walls. Do you mean in the castle? In the Advenir Castle? Or are you saying in the game? There's a magic bridge. I think you mean in the game. There's a magic bridge that can be used to pass through walls. However, if adventurers are pay close attention, they can find a magical mechanism that allows them to pass through the walls and bypass the maze to get past it fast. Nice. Heck yeah. Gotcha in the game. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Shabam. All right. This is looking very, very good. We've got a lot of really good stuff here. Grindarl's Hold. Corvin's Reach, Coastal Stone Lighthouse, South Embley Township. That's awesome. There's a lot of cool stuff there. Deputy Hoplo Barnes. Diplo Barnes. He's not as dumb as you think. That's so cool. Unholy Church Melixis. We got this. Erklitz Pass. Advenire. There's a whole arc there. Trembling Decoction with the monks brew health potions and vigor. It's just outside the town of Cafantar. We got that. We got the Bloodstorm Stand with the cult who drinks blood for pleasure. That's awesome. Metal as hell. What do we got here? Corvin's Reach. I feel like, was that already put in? Yeah, Corvin's Reach. Okay, so this is lore about Corvin's Reach. You can grab this. Small fishing village known for its impressive stone lighthouse, magically lit by a green flame, minor shipbuilding, repairing trade. Stone Shrine to Sea God, where petitions ring a bell atop the shrine after praying for some passage, named for an ancestor current leader. Okay, so in the Veilarian Pantheon, there is, which I'm gonna bring up my book here. Haunting at Ashborough has all my pantheon to the gods and goddesses in my world state. So I'm going to look in the Veilarian Pantheon. There is a goddess of the ocean. She's not an Elsaurian goddess. However, this could work, and it would be a cool thing to add. In my world state, generally the gods and goddesses are restricted to their own continents for big things, but they can still affect the other. They can still affect things in other continents, but they tend to be like, each continent has a pantheon, and so the pantheon is strongest on that continent. But the Thalreen, the mystic of elemental waters, her domains are water, wisdom, and healing. Her natural energy sources are rivers, lakes, and the ocean. Her symbol is a crystal vial overflowing with water. And then the legend is Thalreen is a mystic who achieved enlightenment during a massive storm that crashed against the shoreline. She symbolizes healing and wisdom that flow like water. Her good nature embodies a benevolent spirit focused on helping others without bias. Anyway, boom. That's a perfect setting for Shrine to Thalreen. And she's one of my favorite goddesses from my world states. That's pretty cool. Dave says, a location I've created for my game is the Cliffs of Insanity. Insane Asylum. Oh, an Insane Asylum arc would be so fun. My heroes are trying to break out a patient. Heck yeah. For this portion of the adventure, I've introduced the sanity mechanic from the 2014 GMG. Nice. I one time had, there was like a plot arc that led the group to visiting this wizard in an insane asylum. And, he had like information they needed, but it turned out he was like this insane necromantic maniac. And he was just a crazy dude. And but they ended up breaking him out of the insane asylum and then instantly regretting it because he started doing really crazy things. And it turned out that he was really, really, really powerful. But one thing that he had them do, because he had to have his tongue removed to keep him from casting spells. So one thing that he got them to do was to bring him a pickle, like a sliced pickle. And they gave it to him and he stuck it in his mouth and he was able to use it, although clumsily, to cast some spells that helped to break him out of the insane asylum. So there's always the joke like, oh my God, a pickle is a weapon of mass destruction. But anyway, it was a really funny story. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. This is all really awesome. Lots of really awesome stuff here. I think that I've reached a point where I'm going to have to call it a day and go get ready to go to work. I have to go to work here in a little bit, but this is also awesome. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me and talking about these things. I'm going to basically edit these things up and maybe I'll maybe I'll drop them in the Discord so that other people can make use of them. So if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure to do that. Links in the description. But hey, thank you all so much for joining me. I've had a great time creating stuff with you. Thank you so much. Mike says, thanks for letting us conspire with you. Heck yeah, it's a pleasure. I'm going to try to do this more often. I want to go live more often. So keep an eye out. I never know when I'm going to be able to, though, because my schedule is so crazy. So I can't like schedule it. So it's just going to be haphazardly when I get the chance. But all right, everyone have a great day. I will talk to you later.